My sound is off, and I'll speak from the room, so that we know.
So when we're doing the PowerPoint presentation, we're not gonna be able to see who's on Zoom.
I have no idea.
So I'll ask you, when we're doing the PowerPoint.
Yes, I will, I will ask to share my screen.
Okay, so we won't be able to see the people on Zoom when you're doing. the
No,
PowerPoint.
but they will be able to see the slides.
Right,
We
and-
can't see them if someone raises their hand or
you
something.
should be able to see the surrounding stuff, I think.
So, right now, when, I'll resume my video when we start, and
Getting better.
what I can speak to the room, they will hear, and that will be recorded through that system. I had to turn off my sound here, otherwise it makes an echo.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
I think it just takes the place. of the room. So where it says happen, then it'll happen.
So it's only gonna go with her blog.
I think so.
Yeah, that's this way.
But even if it doesn't, I think you can still see like, yeah. I think, I'm not gonna swear to it.
Or it does the presentation. They're around the side of
Right.
that way too.
I think so.
When she was.
Okay. I'm gonna click mine. Let's see who's there.
You might want to close your.
Catherine,
You might want to close your shade. Otherwise,
Oh.
you're in the boat air.
That's a good place to be.
The ordinance. Who's on here? And then I just did just the numbers from the budget.
I thought it might be worth mentioning. The issues. We did the state. We're gonna have to hold a town meeting, and then that out of the town.
Oh, yeah.
But we put it in time, we weren't sure. But I'm not, I don't have, not prepared for the numbers tonight, but I guess I maybe worth mentioning. Yeah, you can expect that.
I think a lot of
Yeah. We should know.
Oh, they must. It's a lot of the library crowd. That's why. I might be wrong. I've been known to be wrong before. Did you go?
I had a solid waste then.
I usually go to it, but I didn't.
Well, I just going by the picture, it's on the.
Not very many people.
It looked like. it.
They sent one, superintendent sent something out to all the employees to go,
Yeah.
encouraging them
Yeah.
to go. Apparently, they didn't feel the need to go.
Oh, I thought you were.
Well, I'm sick, but I'll let them guess. So there is there someone on the left there?
Then Lori did like language.
Lori D.
And then there's someone who. We don't know who this, oh, it's Myrtle.
No, it's.
No,
Yeah.
they're not there now.
This one.
Okay, let's,
Usually has.
in South Thomaston. There's a Zoom meeting about something. Yeah, I'm gonna go if that's okay. It's probably won't take long. This is the.
was everybody muted?
Yeah.
Terry, that one. That one, there is. Oh.
Yeah, I was wondering that. So,
Well, that one was working and that one wasn't.
now it's the other way around.
Oh, no.
It's because somebody played with it.
Well, if we have to, let's.
I was
we
gonna
can-
say, at least if this one's.
We can
working.
go with this one, because then the audience can see it's
Right,
bigger. Now you got,
and you can see that one, right?
It won't let you put both on the same.
We used to be able to, but they played with it. One of them.
well, let's just go with that one for now.
Yeah, it's changing. What it's doing is.
I think you have to block you have to kind of get in the middle of it and block it.
Okay, we ready? Are you ready?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep.
I don't want to rush you.
We're live on YouTube, live on recording, we're.
Okay, I'm gonna call this, if I could, I'm gonna call this public information session, which is technically a select board meeting, to order at 6:03. And we typically have been starting with the pledge of allegiance, so I would ask if you all stand to do that.
Invisible. Liberty.
Okay, before we get started formally, I would like to take a moment and introduce. Speak up. Okay, before we get started formally. Got too many things clicking and buzzing. I'd like to take a moment and advise you who we have dedicated the 2022 annual report to. And that person is Donna Fifield. For those of you who don't know, Donna is probably actually she still is an employee of the town at the library, in the community center, but she was an employee here at the town office, probably longer than anybody can remember. Longer than I remember. And
Since we
she
had
comes,
a boys and a girls room. Yes, there were two sets of.
Donna would be here Donna would be here every Saturday and Sunday, and nobody even knew it. Cleaning the building for us. And I think it's, I personally feel really great that we've dedicated to someone who's sort of operated behind the scenes. And the only thing she ever asked for that I recall was new bags to put on. Yeah. Nothing for herself, just a new bag.
Well, you know.
A lot. Can we have one? Don was trying to say something. Go ahead. No, go ahead. We just see Don.
Mike Philbrook was the manager before me, and all he had was a broom. And so I brought my own vacuum cleaner and supplies. I just was a record for work. I had them all people's home. But anyway, I thought, oh, this is wonderful. I get any Terry or Barbara, just say anything I needed to get me supplies, just like Penny. Oh, I appreciate all of you. Oh, my goodness.
Well,
It is, it's like Thomaston, and I lived here forever, I love it. I love Thomaston. I don't want to live in that.
so a couple of, I did a couple of stints as interim town administrator. And I would often come in on Saturday or Sunday, and often I'd come in and Donna would be in here. And she would say, oh, I can leave if I'm in your way. And I was like, no, you're fine. So she would offer to pack up and leave to get out of my way, and
I have to tell you, I have been here forever and I think it looks marvelous. The whole building looks nice. So proud of everything everybody does in this town. There's all the volunteering. This is the one that does a lot. Thank you all so much.
so I'd like to offer Jeff or Sue, any comments?
No, I think it's, my dad was here when you were here as well.
Yes, it was.
And I just want to say thank you for many years of service. It's greatly appreciated.
All the time, whether you're a coach or whatever, all the time you put in with the select people. And I said, who's want to come to the meeting tonight? This night. Thank you for all you do.
So does anybody in the audience want to share a comment or you don't have to, but I'd like to give you that opportunity. Okay.
Anybody want an autograph?
So does everybody have a copy of the report? Does everybody have a copy? In the audience? Everybody does? Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna follow along on the warrant, which is found on page, the draft warrant actually, which is found on page,
39.
somebody help me. 39, they tell me. So we're not gonna go over the entire warrant. A lot of it's very similar every year. We're just gonna hit several highlighted articles, and then at the end, if anybody has any other questions on any other article or any budget questions, we can spend a little time talking about that. So I'm gonna start with Article 4. Pardon, 2. I was just gonna start with 4 because 2 is just kind of boilerplate, but
Yeah, except that it's the last time you'll see it.
well, maybe that depends on what we do with that.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, well, we can mention that, so. Early Article 2, we elect, one, it says to elect by written ballot, one select board member, one assessor, and one overseer of the, core for a term until town meeting of 2026. If Article 4 passes, which is the first article we're gonna talk about, that will be the last time you see Article 2, because the select board member and the school board members will henceforth be elected at the polls on Tuesday from 8 to 8 or whatever hours are open, 10 to 8 or 8 to 8, and no longer elected from the floor of town meetings. If Article 4 passes. And if you recall, last year, we had an advisory article on the warrant to see if the town wanted to change to this method of voting, which most towns have moved to, or many towns, I guess I should say, but most, yeah. It seemed to be the sense of the meeting last year that most people wanted to vote on this. So we actually remembered that and included it on this year's warrant. So we'll have hopefully a lively discussion and vote on this. The other thing it does, just real quickly, is it would allow us to put sort of major questions if the select board chose to out to a referendum ballot. Right now, we can't do that. We have to do it at town meeting, but it would allow us to actually put questions out for a referendum vote, which has advantages and disadvantages, but so any comments on Article 4?
No.
Sue? Questions, comments about Article 4?
Hi, it says, well, now I have to find it. Article 4, number 1, require that all elected officials, including the moderator.
Excluding.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Be elected by referendum, secret ballot vote at the poll.
Yeah.
Do you mean the November poll? What polls? is that?
June.
It would typically be in June.
It says, well, now I have to find it.
Oh, that's, you got an echo going or something.
Or delay.
It should be.
That laptop away from Terry's.
This one?
Can we shut that one down? No.
What happens again?
Sorry, we're having technical difficulties here. So I'm sorry, I forgot your question.
Poll, what are the polls?
It would, well, it would,
The June one.
yeah, it would typically be the June one, although it could be any time. The selectmen determine when town meeting is, but since we changed to the fiscal year, it's presumed that it'll be at the June town meeting.
So that's called the polls,
Yeah, at the polling place here at the town office, where you come in and vote.
but what about, I mean, it's very unclear. You said the town meeting is in June. Yes, town meeting is in June. And we have been voting for these at the town meeting.
Mhm.
And now you say they're voting for them at the poll.
Yeah, and the warrant will say the date and when and where. And it'll typically be with the school referendum.
So after or before the town meeting?
Typically before, because we hold the town meeting either the 4th or the 5th Tuesday of June.
Right.
We vote either the 1st or the 2nd Tuesday of June. So we'll have,
Voting to do this?
yes, that's where the school,
Oh, that's the school board. Okay, never mind.
but there are other things that,
Budget,
yeah, school budget's on it, but other things can be on it.
yeah, it can be referendums, it can be bond issues.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but a lot of towns do what they call a bifurcated meeting where the election of the select board and so the school board is, if there's one that year, and that only happens every 3 years because we only have one member. Is kind of part of the town meeting. It's just that the first, the moderator is elected at the polls, then you vote at the polls, and then the next night you have the open town meeting. A lot of towns do that. We haven't got there yet, but.
It's like a whole week of meeting.
Yeah. Other questions or comments?
This will allow absentee voting.
Yes. It will.
For those items that are
On the-
put on the ballot.
Right.
At the polls.
Yeah, not the entire,
Have them.
just the items put on the ballot at the poll.
And the select board will determine which questions, if there are questions, put on referendum.
Right.
Yeah.
If we put any on referendum. Right.
Does this mean that this is going to be an added expense to the town for all of these meetings that they're going to be having?
Well, it's the same number of meetings, and typically if we hold it on election day, it'll be the same. If we hold it on the same day the school board holds their election for their budget, it won't be any more employees. It will be a few pieces of paper.
But for all these referendum things.
Well,
if they decide to do that would have to be.
They'd just be added to it.
They would be on the
Yeah.
same night.
same night, although they could be on a special night, but personally, I don't see that happening but once in a blue moon.
The only time I could think of doing it is something similar to what happened in COVID, where we had to go to extraordinary conditions to be able to vote by town meeting. I mean, it would have been safer probably for us to have voted all of those budget items at the polls. But I personally see very, I can't think of anything other than an emergency like that where I would support putting something on the polls, at the polls. Because you lose the town meeting crosstalk and that type of thing.
And actually, there are a couple of things that we have to vote by referendum now. Liquor date and stuff have to be done by referendum. But by state law, so
But this doesn't add any more meetings. It does, all it does is instead of having this line item to elect by written ballot, one select board member and one school board member, that'll be written on the ballot that you also check off whether you approve the school budget. So it's just adding a line on an existing ballot already.
Okay.
Oh, sure. Just want to say, I think it's a good idea. I think I brought it up about 15, 20 years ago. To vote for elected officials this way. And I think it's gonna be good for people that, like me, that are not always in town during the town meeting. And it gives us an opportunity to vote on our elected officials. I think it opens it up to more people. Thank you.
We don't have video. Can we stop for a minute so I unplug the owl and that helps.
When did we lose it?
Whenever that echo thing happened, I don't, or when
I can turn it off and then turn it on when.
If I close the lid, will it turn it on? You want me to?
Might have to shut down and start again. I can't get the video back on.
So does that mean that people on Zoom can't see it?
They can't see anything.
They
They
can
can
hear.
hear us. They can't see.
Well, I apologize. We again are having technical difficulties.
I do want to add one thing then on the voting at the polls. The disadvantage is in this town, traditionally, we have not had people sign up to run until the night of town meeting. So that's going to be a problem if we don't have volunteers or people willing to run for office and get their paperwork in time to be on the ballot. So traditionally, we've voted by write-in at town meeting because we haven't had people willing to jump